Hey, what's up guys, Ben here, welcome back to another video on my channel, FilmFanatic. And this is getting uploaded after Christmas, so hope you all had a very Merry Christmas and got everything you wanted and had a great day with your family, your friends, or whatever you were doing. I hope it was good. Now, as we are heading into the end of 2016 and head first into 2017 where a lot of big movies are planned, I thought I'd give you my top 5 countdown of the best movies of 2016. Now, I should say before we begin, these are not the most technical movies. These are not the ones that I think are going to win the Oscars or anything. These are just my top 5 movies, the ones I enjoyed most, the ones I had most fun seeing, and all that jazz. And for the videos that I've reviewed on this list, I will leave an annotation on the poster that I put up, so if you want to go see more of what I thought about that movie, you can click the annotation, which will be somewhere on the screen. Alright, so let's go. Starting off with number 5, we have The Jungle Book. Directed by Jon Favreau, this was a movie that I was very hesitant to go and see. I didn't know how they were going to do a live action remake of such a beloved Disney movie, a Disney classic, many people's favourite Disney movies, and I was so worried that they would ruin it. But Jon Favreau actually really impressed me. He did a really good job in keeping alive the family fun of the original, but also putting his own spin on certain things in the new one. He had a fantastic cast to work with, which include Bill Murray as Baloo, Christopher Walken as King Louie, he had Ben Kingsley. It was a great cast to work with, a great crew, and to be fair to him, he did a really good job. Because of his success of The Jungle Book, he's actually directing the live action adaptation of The Lion King in the next coming years. Now, do I want him to do that? I would like to see another live action adaptation by him. I would like to see if The Jungle Book was just a lucky fluke or he did actually do a really good job. On the other hand, I don't want them to remake such a classic Disney movie. Now, I know The Jungle Book was a classic, but The Lion King is like the top of the classic Disney productions, so I will go and see it anyway, but I'm nervous. I am very nervous. Moving on to number 4, we have Deadpool. Deadpool is one of the movies I've been looking forward to for years. Now, when it was finally announced we were getting it in 2016, I was so happy. Starring Ryan Reynolds as the perfect casting for Deadpool, this movie follows a man who is tested on, experimented on by the government, and ends up being given superhuman abilities and becomes the vigilante Deadpool. Now, throughout this movie, he teams up with one or two of the X-Men to try and take down his enemy as he's captured his wife. It's kind of a classic superhero tale. Man gets given powers, man has to rescue a woman he loves, but this is far from your regular superhero movie. This is an R-rated, brutal, hilarious adaptation of Deadpool. Now, personally, I haven't read a lot of Deadpool comics. I've read some, and from the some I've read, they got this adaptation spot on. The dialogue, the action, the humour was spot on for a Deadpool film. And they did such a good job, they have already greenlighted a Deadpool 2, however the director sadly dropped out. A man I thought did a fantastic job in the first, but to see how it's going to go with a different director will be very interesting. I'm glad to see that Ryan Reynolds has of course signed on for the second one. Without him, the movie would just have no legs. It's kind of like Robin Williams and Missy Doubtfire. You would not even think about doing a sequel without him, and you would not even think about doing a Deadpool 2 without Ryan Reynolds. Moving on to number 3, we have Rogue One. Rogue One, a Star Wars story, a prequel to A New Hope, follows the character of Jyn as she tries to steal the Death Star plans to give to the rebellion. Now, as a massive Star Wars fan, I was so excited to see Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and very lucky for me, and a big thank you to you and our Dark Rajan, he invited me along to the premiere 2 days before everyone else got to see it. There's good reason it gets into my top 5, and that's because it's just sheer enjoyment factor from beginning to end. Don't get me wrong, the first maybe 20 minutes get a little bit slow, but from then on, it's just straight action, straight, just popcorn, enjoyable, brilliant Star Wars movie. It's like you're going back to the originals. You've got that sense of joy and wonder to see this. It's a fantastic film. It's brilliant for Star Wars geeks. If you love Star Wars, you love this movie. And even if you're not a massive fan of Star Wars, it's still a good movie to go and see. Especially for the last 40 minutes alone. The last 40 minutes of space battle is incredible. If you're a Star Wars fan or you're not a Star Wars fan, go and see this movie because it is just a good popcorn blockbuster. We're now down to our final 2, and slotting into that number 2 spot is Captain America Civil War. Captain America Civil War pits Captain America versus Iron Man, and they split the Avengers right in 2 and they have a big old battle. After Captain America and a few of the Avengers' mission goes a little bit haywire in a foreign country, the government ends up saying, you guys need to be under wraps. You guys need to be taken care of and watched over. Now, Iron Man backs the idea, Captain America does not. Thus we have a civil war within the Avengers. This is a proper Marvel movie. You see all your favourite superheroes once again teamed up, but this time they're fighting against each other. There's one epic scene in particular, the airport scene. It's a scene that everyone will refer to when we talk about this movie, and it's where the battle finally commences. Iron Man's team versus Captain America's team go at war. Also sees heroes I didn't see in the Avengers come into the mix. Ant-Man comes in, Spider-Man comes in. Now that's actually one of the main reasons this is number 2 on my list, is because it's the first time we see Tom Holland's performance as Spider-Man. But it's not just Spider-Man that made this movie number 2 on my list, it's the sheer action of it. It's a brilliant action scene. It goes on for about 15 minutes, everyone's fighting each other, it's fantastic. Plus it sets up the Infinity War movies, and that is something I'm pretty sure all Marvel fans are super psyched about. Now it may be a little bit biased to have Captain America Civil War in my mix because I am a big Marvel fan, but it is a great movie, it is a proper action movie, and like Rogue One, it's a proper popcorn blockbuster. And finally, we come to number 1 on our list, and this is a movie you guys haven't seen on the channel. I have not reviewed this film, and that's because when it came out, I don't know why, I just had no time whatsoever to review this, but God, I wish I had. This movie is the mind-blower Arrival. Starring Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner, this movie follows Amy Adams' character, a linguist, coming in to try and translate alien communications after they land on Earth. Following this, they realise there is a lot more than to the aliens that meets the eye. They are not just here to scare us or be at war, they're actually here to give us a gift of knowledge. Now this movie is a proper mind blower. It does mess with your mind. You are given jigsaw pieces throughout the whole movie, and at the end, you still don't know what happened. It does take a little bit of thinking, but trust me guys, it is worth it. Not only is it a brilliant movie to sit and think about and ponder for hours, visually it's also stunning. It's a beautiful movie from start to finish. The cinematography is fantastic, the CGI is beautiful. It's just a film that I watched the whole way through, edge of my seat, eyes wide, mouth drop, just in awe of how perfect this movie can be. It's a movie that I hadn't really heard anything about before going to see it. It was actually my friend Ryan who suggested we go and see it, and I thought, yeah, why not, we'll go and see it, and God, I'm glad he did. If you guys are looking for a brilliant movie to sit down and watch, maybe one you want to ponder over, or maybe one you just want to sit back in awe of how stunning it is, Arrival is the way to go. And that is why it is number 1 on my top 5 movies of 2016. And that's it for me today guys, thank you very much for watching. If you agree or disagree with anything I've said in the video, go ahead and leave in the comment section what you thought. What are your top 5 movies of 2016? I would love to hear. I can't go any further in this video while mentioning Star Wars and not talk about Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher was sadly pronounced dead yesterday when I'm recording this, after suffering a heart attack on a plane a few days earlier. She said she was in a stable condition, but sadly that did not work out and she passed away. Carrie Fisher played Princess Leia in the original Star Wars series and the whole way through Star Wars. She was a beloved character, a hero, a legend within the Star Wars fanbase and pretty much movie fanbase around the world. Anybody and everybody who's seen Star Wars loves Princess Leia. She's a massive loss to the film industry and to the world, as if you see any interviews with her, you'll see just how much of a fun-loving, caring person she was, and she'll be sorely missed. So thank you very much for watching guys. If you did enjoy the video, please go ahead, leave a like rating down below, I really do appreciate it. Go ahead and leave in the comment section your top 5 movies of 2016, and don't forget to hit subscribe to never miss some more FilmFanatic content. I'll see you next time guys, take care, bye douche.